Muscle morons, welcome back to the Good Guys podcast. I am here with DXL's no longer ambassador because he's too darn svelte, Ben Soffer.
I'm always going to be a brand ambassador for DXL, okay?
I don't think so.
Okay?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I wear DXL on my heart. I wear them on my heart, okay? Destination XL, Shaquille O'Neal. Who do you think's the best, DXL's best ambassador? Actually, name one more ambassador besides Shaquille O'Neal.
I got nothing.
But Shaq is ingrained in your brain, right? Shaq is DXL.
I mean, imagine if Shaq isn't one of the greatest basketball players ever, owns like 900 Wingstops. I'm not sure if that's him or Rick Ross, but I know that the man's an entrepreneur. He owns like 100 Papa John's, whatever. And imagine that he's not worth almost $1 billion and he's just a 7-foot plus, 300 plus pound dude. That would be such a difficult life.
Yes, but also highly unrelatable for the DXL customer. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. And I saw a recent stand-up bit where they mentioned, oh, you sent it to me, where they're talking about DXL or these these stores for the fat people, Rochester Big and Tall, etc. And they're like, it's very rare that it's for the big, or it's very rare that it's for the tall. It's usually just for the big. And really it should be called Rochester Big and Small, where it's like 5'8", 300. Right?
That's
like,
right.
It's not for the Shaquille O'Neals of the world. They're getting custom suits.
They're getting custom suits. How do you feel about a custom suit? Would you ever invest?
Oh, I wouldn't invest if it's an expensive custom suit. I'm out. But I like a custom suit from these like middle tier guys where they're not overly expensive, but it's good craftsmanship. I'll do it for sure. But I'm an off the rack guy. I think I'm fortunate that my shoulders are the appropriate size for the rack. So sure, you'll have to take in my pants a little. You'll have to take out my pants, take out my calves, cinch a bit. But otherwise, I have no problem shopping rack. You?
Let me guess your suit size, okay? I'm taking you in right now. I'm going to say a 46. Regular.
Somewhere between a 44 and a 46 right now.
You're like a 45. Honestly,
yeah, about a 45, but that was pretty good. What waist do you think I am right now?
I would say a 37.
6.
Right. Okay. That's right.
You're there. You're right there. Do you shop the odd numbers, Josh?
So if perhaps a Page jean, maybe, or a Jack Victor, which is the shirt I'm wearing right now, if they perhaps offer a 33, I know that is in my ballpark. 34 runs a little big. 32, who am I kidding?
32 is too small. It's too small. What are you going to do? It's not even your waist. It's probably your calves. What do your calves do in a 32?
No, it's too much. I had a buddy who was pretty thin, who would wear like a 28 or a 30, and which was cool because he could wear men or women's jeans. And then once he sat down on a date and the girl looked at both their jeans and went, "Hey, twinsies." Which is
29. Wow, I can't even imagine. No, my range has been smallest I've ever been. For like one gorgeous summer, I was like a 33.
Wow.
And then I've gone as high as a 42. 36, 34 to 36 is where I want to live forever. 34 is my ideal. That means I've gone down one more size. 35 is actually appropriate because otherwise I'd probably have to lose some muscle in these calves. The traditional 34 just won't do for a man of this type of calf. So, but yeah, I've been a 42. 42 is, once you get into the 4s, it's no good.
Don't I know it? I've been, and the best part of during my weight loss journey, which I never touch on, is that there was, as you would go down sizes, you kind of had to, because people would say, throw away your old clothes. That chapter is over. So then I would get I'd get a little overzealous and I'd be like, I think if with the right 38 jean, I know I'm a 42, but the right 38 jean, I'm losing LBs And if I just if I slip in there quick and I lay down on the bed and I buckle and I hold my breath for the next 8 hours, these are going to fit. And there are photos of me when I was in that place. I needed a 40, Ben.
Yeah, no, me too. And it's so weird. Like, what is our obsession? What was the obsession with being a smaller size when you look worse? Like, you visibly look worse in that smaller size. Isn't the goal of clothing to look your best?
I know. It looked like my pants were cooking muffins. Oh, we're so nice to ourselves. You know, it was it was funny the other day. I was, giving my son Max a hug, and I said, "Oh, I love you to death." And he goes, "What's death?" I was like, "Fuck."
Wow.
Yeah.
Oof.
I know.
Oof.
I got myself in a little hot water.
Where do these expressions come from? Like, so stupid. Love you to death.
I don't know. That's a great question. Should we chat?
Oh, actually,
ChatGPT?
No. Love you to death makes perfect sense. I was thinking more of like a squeeze you to death. Love you to death makes sense. I'm going to love you until you die. Forever. For the duration of your life, I'm going to love you.
I think it's me. I think it's you're saying it about yourself. I'll love you till I die.
I'll love you till I die. It's still very dark. It's still very dark. All these things are very dark. Till death do us
part, right? It's like, love you to death.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of others. There are so many others that are like this that always bother me. Always bother me.
Well, he asked, what's death? And I go, oh, well, it's when you go to live with all the angels. And because we've talked about, grandparents, great-grandparents who've passed away, obviously, like pets and things like, for a 5-year-old, he's been introduced to some loss, and we talk about angels and things and I said angels, and you go to live with angels in heaven, and he goes, what's heaven? And I'm like, ay, I am just stepping on it today. So I didn't really
You didn't give him a good answer.
No, because I also don't want to bullshit him, because I don't know. And I don't know, how much is me just trying to, protect his little brain from how much he can compute. I can just see the comments now. Listen, okay? You professionals who are going to comment on this video, Josh, you should have done this. Maybe not. Maybe just keep it to yourself. So, I don't know. He's fine. He doesn't seem too bruised by it.
What do you think happens after we die, Josh?
Great question, Ben. I think it's all I think it's all over. I think it's and people don't like this, and it's not very comforting when people have to deal with a loss. I think it's all over. Hard body karate. You're done. Bye.
Yeah. It's interesting. It doesn't really matter what I believe, because we'll never know. But I'd like to think that there's some form of reincarnation. I'd love to come back as like a nice tree or something, or like I don't know, put my soul in something else. I think that would be cool. But who the hell knows? The most logical would be when you're done, you're done.
Trust me. Like Neil Brennan, the great comedian who was on our podcast, said the other day, sometimes I really lament about my life, and then I go, would I be willing to roll the dice with 8 billion? No way. And I would say that for 90% of people. They wouldn't roll the dice and say like, hey, all right, you can go into somebody else's thing, right? You can just restart somebody else, but there's 8 billion others, and you don't know who you're going to get. Like, I don't want to come back as somebody else. I just think that the law of energy, which is science, is energy can neither be created nor destroyed. The same amount of energy that's on Earth is the same amount of energy that was here after the Big Bang or whatever it was when we started. So your energy leaves, but it just gets redistributed. So you live forever. Maybe.
You live forever. Maybe. Wow.
Marsh?
I think...
I'm on the verge of a panic attack.
What did he say?
He said, I'm on the verge of a panic attack. We finally pushed Marshall too far.
All I have to say is I'm down to roll the dice. Come back. Somebody else, something else. I don't know. You never know. You never know. You never sure. Could it be worse? Absolutely. But I don't know.
These existential, it's Elon Musk, I think, or somebody said this, which is like death in theory is like the greatest gift, right? Because while the idea of us never dying and living forever is interesting and cool, and what would that be like? And then you never have to face your own mortality, but then you would have no incentive to do anything ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And you technically get an answer to life's greatest question.
Right.
I just hope, all that I hope, even if you die, and as you said, Josh, that's it. You're done. I just hope that there is somehow a split second where you realize that fact. Whether it's that or something else, you at least have this aha moment like, oh, I died, I'm done, then you're done. Because if you just die and it's done, that would be very unsettling. But I guess you'd never know because it's done.
But I think that I think your body starts preparing for it. And you hear about this in older people. And I don't know what the phenomenon is, but God rest her soul. My surrogate grandmother at 98 years old passed away a month ago. We were together, Ben, when I went to go see her in New York last year. I'm so lucky that I got to see her before she passed. And my mom, who would chat with her every day, was saying, like, she's talking about that she's talking about family members who've passed, but as though they're there. And it seemed like she was with her mother, she was with her father. Oh, my mother came by, and this was like in the days leading up to her passing. But it seemed like her brain was preparing itself in a weird way. Or like, really, like, you do have these angels who come and they say, hey, get things packed, we're leaving.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could read it either way. Maybe it's just the optimist in me, but I really do think there's something more. I do. I think that these things exist. I don't know. You're going to hate that I'm relating dogs to humans, but I'm going to do it anyways. 2 nights ago, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm flushed with emotions. I miss Theo, my King Charles Cavalier that passed in December. I'm looking at old pictures and videos of him on my phone. All of a sudden, I go on TikTok and I'm just being served these videos of dogs that died and new dogs and all this stuff. I'm being rushed. And I'm like, why is this happening? I hadn't thought about him at all. And at least, I don't know, 2 months since I got my new dog, I hadn't thought about him at all. You know what day it was, Josh?
Flag
Theo's
Day.
birthday.
Sorry.
Theo's birthday.
Right.
I'm just saying, Flag Day. I'm just saying, Theo's birthday. That's weird. Is that not weird?
Yeah.
I don't think that I think that's a little strange that I'm flooded with these emotions and it just happens to be his birthday. And one could say that maybe he came down on his birthday and wanted to hang out and wanted me to think about him. And maybe he was around me. Maybe not, but I don't have anything else to explain it.
Yeah, like, I know, I think that's fair. And there's like a day out of the year where, like, I'll just get angry and I don't know what it is. And I'll just get like full of anger. And all of a sudden I'll realize it's Father's Day. But I'm just kidding, but not really. But no, I know what you mean. And I think that's totally possible. And again, I think that I think like this idea of God and giving God a gender, he is this, he is that, like even the word God, like it falls so short of whatever version of the ultimate sort of higher power governing body of things could be, right? It is so beyond our ability in which to articulate and conceptualize what it is. And same thing with death. So I think we've, like, with our little monkey brains, have this construct of heaven, which sounds fabulous, and I'm down to clown. But I just kind of go the science route of being like, listen, I actually do believe that in some ways you do go on. I just don't think it's exactly in the way we write about it.
It's impossible for it to be the way we write about it. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And that God is some kind of a person. How self-absorbed are we? Yeah. We're going to die. We're going to meet him and we're going to go chill at a Denny's. Like, no, these are our experiences. What happens to everything else that lives on Earth? Like, they don't get to go to heaven too?
Yeah,
of course they do.
You think God's on Ozempic?
Yeah, what does it mean for them?
Right.
God is the inventor of Ozempic, just saying.
Yeah, what do you think? You think God's worried about parking? No. God's got bigger fish to fry.
No, he's got bigger fish to fry. Wow, we're so religious. Look at this.
We're
not even religious. We're so just
with
this podcast is just so interesting. Just so interesting. We're so interesting.
Sunday Lawn Care, man, it was started by two brothers who, like Ben. Like, this is the kind of company, like, if Ben and I, because we're basically brothers. We're brothers in body type. But if we were brothers and we started a company, you'd want to support us. Well, that's why you want to support Sunday Lawn Care, because they really believed in better ingredients, better results, and better backyards made for living. Because did you know that the American yard has some of the highest concentrations of pesticides? That's gross. There's 5 times more pesticides used per acre of lawns compared to industrial farms. And I know that I said pesticide the right way. Well, Sunday is disrupting the lawn care industry with science-backed innovation across lawn and garden products. Look, the truth is there's no toxic pesticides or harsh chemicals, only simple, nutrient-dense ingredients like seaweed, molasses, iron, and it works with nature to help you grow a beautiful lawn the easy way. And the best part is it's the future of lawn care and better for people, pets, and the planet. It's available nationwide at Lowe's, Target, and Walmart, and you can get it on getsunday.com. Look, lawns are a part of our everyday life, but it's time to rethink how we care for them. So Sunday is available at Lowe's, Target, and Walmart stores nationwide. Use code GoodGuys20 for 20% off your custom lawn plan on getsunday.com. I agree. I think we're interesting, and I actually think, and we talked about this every week, I do some spiritual readings in the morning, and I think that for our wonderful morons who are out there fighting the good fight, sometimes a little quote can help. So maybe we'll incorporate this every week. Maybe this will be the last time I do it. But from the Stoics, it's important to know that the wise man is neither raised up by prosperity nor cast down by adversity. That's Seneca, babe. Remember that. Stay even.
I love it. You know what that is? Stay even. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
You cut out and we said it at the same time. Wow. Stay even. Exactly.
That's right.
I guess we both interpreted exactly what you just read the same way. Everybody should interpret it that way. Stay even. No highs, no lows. If you get too high, you're going to crash. You get too low, life sucks.
So agree. And you know what else life sucks? If you need CPR. And funny enough, after this podcast, I'm going with the American Heart Association to get certified in some high-level CPR and life-saving techniques. And I just want to say, shout out the American Heart Association. Shout out someone like Damar Hamlin. If you forgot, he was the Buffalo Bills player who had a cardiac event on the field in the middle of the game last year, and whose life was literally saved by a trainer who started to perform CPR on him immediately after this event happened. And everyone should learn CPR. It can really help someone. And if anything, you get to feel like you're on Grey's Anatomy. I mean, I was going through this thing the other day and I was like doing like the online course. I'm like, God forbid, I'm not wishing ill on anyone, but I'd like somebody to drop so I can use this thing.
Yeah. I was a trained lifeguard at one point, Josh. I learned CPR at 11 years old. Somebody said, "You fat sir, you can be a lifeguard." And so maybe I need a refresher on my certificate, but just saying, I learned. So if you ever need any help, give me a call.
It's fun. Yes. Listen. You and I together, maybe that'll be our first live event. We don't do like a live podcast. We do a live CPR certification.
Okay, but now we need to talk about it because you brought it up. I texted you last night and I said when we go on the inevitable tour that we're going on, we are kicking off this beautiful podcast tour. Every night we're going to do a little karaoke. Maybe we'll sing some Meatloaf. Maybe we'll sing some Creed. And you said we have very different tastes in music. And Josh, I want to know what you want to sing.
I want to sing the Golden Girls theme song. I want to sing. I want to sing Spice Girls. Shout out. Actually, that's one of my articles, but it was Victoria Beckham's 50th birthday, and the Spice Girls got back together.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for some fun pop music. I want to feel like I'm just, I just don't know if I'm gonna sing Daughtry like you suggested.
I'm in. What music do you listen to? Let's say you have a moment to yourself. You're going on one of your beautiful runs on the beach. What music are you listening to? Or you're only listening to podcasts?
I listen to mostly podcasts. I listen to a lot of jazz music. I'll tell you what's in my most played right now. Frank Ocean.
Nice.
I like that new Jungle song. I like who else? Joni Mitchell, Neil Young.
Nice.
Yeah, Leon Bridges. I like a little Maroon 5, and I don't care who knows it. And then I like a lot of hip hop. What about you? And
how do you find your most listened?
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the things that I just most recently listened to, like in my library.
Got it. Yeah.
Oh, there should be.
I listen to a lot. No, tell me. There's a way to look at this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think you just kind of got to search around.
All right, I'll just tell you my recents. I like taking a song and then turning it into a radio. I don't know if you do that, but I enjoy that. So I get a mixture of things that are like that. Teenage Dirtbag Radio is very recent for me. Welcome to the Black Parade Radio is very recent for me. Fast Car Radio. Shout out Tracy Chapman.
Shout out.
Let's see. Banana Pancakes Radio was recent for me. Jack
what
Johnson.
What does that mean?
Love him.
Yeah.
The Script Radio was recent for me. I go all over the place. Gavin DeGraw.
So I feel like you have the if I had to name your playlist, it would be New England Boarding School.
Yeah, that's pretty good in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Mixed in with a little bit of what my dad really likes. And that's why the meatloaf of it all sort of just shines through. But
yeah, New England.
Yeah, I think that's good.
New England Boarding School brought to you by Vineyard Vines.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Marshall, what music are you into?
Oh, I like a lot. Well, I've been listening to Doja Cat a lot because her Coachella set was so good.
Wow.
I just watched the live stream. So that
he's so young.
I love Remy Wolf. Sabrina Carpenter.
We could drink his blood.
Do you guys know Sabrina Carpenter?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's amazing. So her, Ari.
Wow. Love it.
It's just so interesting. You'd be so hard pressed to find me ever listening to a song that was written in the last 15 years. I don't know what it is. I just music stopped being made. I know people make music, but to my brain, nothing good has been made since 2010.
It's because you're old. Because we're old. And
is that what it is?
Yes.
Are we just old and now we push all of our songs on the youth? You think this is good? You got to listen to
We're not wrong, but we do have to battle against it. I was not adamantly against, but I just did not get Tyler, the Creator, for many years. And then someone was like, just watch his NPR Tiny Desk. I did. He is one of the great musical minds of our time, and we are blessed to have him on this earth. I didn't get it because I was looking for a single. I was looking for that one song, and people were like, no, you got to listen to an album. It's an experience. And now I'm just a massive fan.
Interesting. I haven't given him a shot. Perhaps I will.
Well, did you know that recently in People magazine, Mark Zuckerberg reacts to viral Photoshop beard pic that fans thirsted over? Who did this? The billionaire's wife, Priscilla Chan, also reacted to the image, joking, "Anyone seen my husband?" Yeah, I mean, I got to say this photo, he kind of looks like a less cute Marshall, but Zuckerberg's crushing it. Look at this. And I mean the hottie Boombody photo. Did you see this, Marsh?
I did see the photo.
I'm sorry. Are you offended when I said that?
No.
Okay. I mean the hot photo, not normal Zuck.
Right.
Shout out Zuck.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I saw them. I first saw him at the UFC fight with Dana White, having a good time, wearing this gold chain. And I was thinking to myself, what in the world is going on here? Like, there's a real shift here. And then, yes, I saw the photoshopped him with the beard, with the chain. And I don't know, Zuck's approval rating, I'm sure, went through the roof over the last week.
Yeah, great. I mean, look, Bezos has really worked on himself. I mean, he is very clearly on a nice little cocktail of testosterone replacement therapy and ambition. But he looks great. He looks like a dude in good shape for his late 50s, as opposed to before when he was much more of a, just call it a computer guy.
But Bezos, correct me if I'm wrong, Bezos never gave, like, not human. Bezos always, to me, he's like the entrepreneur of our time. This, like, very normal guy made this incredible company and is the richest man ever. Mark Zuckerberg, for whatever reason, has always felt not human to me. Maybe it's something with the way that he's portrayed. Maybe it's the things that he says. Maybe it's the way that he dressed and acted. But this was the first time where I looked at him and I was kind of like, oh, he likes UFC. Like, he's like a guy that, like, also has interests outside of, I don't know. I believe this narrative that he's like an alien, okay? That, like, he's not from this planet. And, like, this was, like, the first sign, like, maybe he is, or maybe just AI is getting more advanced and they told him to put on a chain and go hang out with Dana White and be relatable.
Well, first thing I'll say about Jeff Bezos, have you ever seen him in the video where David Blaine is performing a magic trick for him?
No.
His laugh is cute. His laugh is like this. I mean, it is fucking cute. Shout out Jeff B. Well, you know, Zuckerberg is a hardcore MMA, like, has his, I don't know, maybe his blue or his purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like, he trains, like, he would fuck us both up.
Oh yeah. No, I've heard of that.
Like,
also,
properly
anybody
trains.
I don't want to fight. I'm not fighting anybody. I'm out. You tell me that you can beat me in a fight? You're right. I can't fight you.
I'm gonna
too scared.
Have
you ever thrown hands?
I've gotten in some aggressive shoving, sure.
You have. You've thrown hands? Have you ever punched someone?
No, not really.
Have you ever been punched?
Yeah. Well, I've been been fucking around with friends and a punch went too hard and like clipped me in the chin and I didn't pass out, so no glass chin here. But I don't have that energy where, like, I'm never looking for a fight, but I wouldn't shirk away from it. If I had to do it, I'd be like, let's fucking do this. Like, I'm not going to run away if, like, put in the position. And what I like is there's this great clip of Joe Rogan on Fear Factor when basically this couple, they lose this event and they're already at each other's throats. And then the woman comes over to another contestant and like socks him in the shoulder. And Joe Rogan is like a proper bad man. Whatever you think of him, you can't deny that he has like a black belt in Taekwondo, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And he gets very upset. He's like, you can't assault people. What are you doing? You can't punch this guy randomly. And he's talking to her. And then her husband gets in Rogan's face, is like, don't talk to her. Why don't you calm down? And he gets too close to Rogan and Rogan just neutralizes him. Like, grabs his head and the guy is his ragdoll. It's done.
I have to learn how to neutralize someone just in case. I need to learn that type of self-defense. Mm-hmm. Like if somebody comes up on me, because I can't be walking again to the bank to hand somebody $40. I can't. I need to learn just a little bit of self-defense, just to drop. You guys tell me your feeling here, and I think I'm probably the most aggro of the three of us, which ain't saying a lot, but I believe anyone who I've ever trained boxing with or who's like a proper fighter that could handle themselves in any situation, they've said,
if someone gets in your face, if someone gets close enough to hit you, like they're entering your range where they can really hit you, it's incumbent on you to hit them first. Like, there's no way, like, and that's what Rogan says to this guy. He's like, don't get too close to me. And the guy comes into his face and Rogan goes, listen, the next thing that could come out of your hands is a punch to my head that I don't see and could knock me out. So like, if you're within 2 feet of me and you're coming in a charging way, there's no waiting for them to hit you first. You got to just go. Agreed, boys?
Personally, I turn around and I run for the hills. I'm out.
Next to Ben.
I'm out so far. Honestly, I take it back. I don't need to learn self-defense. I need to put a jetpack on my back. I turn around, I press a button, I'm in space. Anything to avoid that level of confrontation.
Oh, God, I kind of agree and I kind of disagree. I hear you. You're probably smarter than me. This is one of the episodes where I'm going to have to hear from my mother after, and when she goes, why? With the pushing and the fighting and the fisticuffs.
Josh, you got a fist to the chin. Does she know that story?
What?
Of you getting a fist to your chin? You having a tussle with a friend and it going a little bit too far?
Yeah, Mom. Len almost knocked me out when we were 16. Enjoy that.
Unbelievable.
But
friggin' Len.
Fakakta Len. Should we get into a speak pipe?
Yeah, please.
All right. If you want to send us a message, if you want any advice or have a question, keep it brief, keep it short, but go to speakpipe.com/goodguys. Here is Dan.
Hey, Ben and Josh. My name is Dan. I've been listening to your podcast, and in the past few, you've been talking about s'mores. And as a good Jewish camp counselor, I want to make sure you know the s'mores song. It goes like this. S'mores, s'mores. First you take a little bit, and then you want some more. That's why they're called s'mores. And then there's more, but I forget the rest. Anyway, my question for you is, Passover's coming up. You got a Seder coming up. What do you do if the Seder's just going a little bit long and you need an exit plan?
Wow.
First of all, Dan, thank you for sharing that lovely jingle with us. Because now I know where the s'more comes from. If you want some more. Very good.
Yes, very good. Thank you.
That said, I need a little bit more information. Why the chocolate? Why the marshmallows? Why the graham cracker? If the entire concoction is just based on having more. It doesn't make any sense to me. Just saying. And if you feel that your Passover Seder's going on a little bit long, that's why I invented the jetpack to get your way out of that situation. You press a button and you're gone.
Well, here's what you do. Because if the Seder's going on too long, that means there's a brisket in the oven staying warm. You excuse yourself. You say, I need to take a pish. Excuse me, everyone. You find your way into the kitchen and you throw the oven from 150, 200, because it's just keeping things warm, to broil. Okay? You set the fucking house on fire. Listen, that brisket starts burning, people are going to lose their mind. And they're going to go, Sally, just serve it. It's half burnt already. You got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, get things moving a little bit.
Genius.
Thank you.
Genius.
Yeah. That's
Burning
right.
the brisket is genius. You'll get out of there one way or another. Will you be hungry? Certainly. But you'll be out of there.
What would be the best fast food stop during Passover on the way home?
If you're trying to keep the holiday,
yes,
or just hungry?
If you're trying not to eat flour, but you're like, God, I really want some fast food. I'm on my way home. I don't want to break my Passover, but I really want to.
I guess it's got to be either Chipotle, right? Because you could get some chicken, some veggies, etc.
The Panda.
Or you could do the Panda, yes. Or I guess in and out with that burger. What burger is that where there's no bread? It's the onions and the, what do they call that?
Protein style.
Yeah. They gave it a name though, like the Fisherman something. There's a name.
The Flying Dutchman.
The Flying Dutchman. Thank you very much.
That's right.
The Flying Dutchman. I'm in.
This next one is from Anonymous. Nanames.
Hey, good guys. Bella Moron here, living in New York. Scratching the age of 30. Love a good drink here or there on the weekends. My boyfriend and I love a good sniff of the devil's dandruff. Never missed a mortgage payment. Don't miss our bills. Never miss work. Not a big problem. Just having fun on the weekends. Josh, as a former addict, at what point did you realize that you actually had a problem and needed to stop? Is this normal for 30-year-olds or 20-year-olds or college kids? A little bit of advice of when you realize you're having just a good time or you really need to stop and buckle down. Thanks, guys. Love you.
Wow. Cute.
Great question. You want to answer it first?
It's such a terrible answer because only you know. Unfortunately, I'm in no position to diagnose anyone with any sort of issue. But what I would say is stepping away from the addiction part. I think it's corny to do cocaine after you're 30. I think it's kind of corny. And I think it's a really, it's a really dangerous world with the fent, with all the things that are out there that I think, again, I sound like a dinosaur, like our parents used to scream at us. But the truth is that it's not like how it was back in the day. All right. You're not doing, you know what I'm saying? You're not smoking dirt weed at Woodstock anymore. Okay. This is hydroponic. This is gummies. This is you eat enough and you think you think you're talking to your ancestors and they're not proud. Okay. So be careful.
Couldn't agree more, especially with the latter. Sounds like you're just dipping your toe into being a little bit of a loser. Like at some point,
Loser
you got to
light.
look around. Yeah, you got to look around and you got to say, okay, when we were in our mid-20s and somebody said, let's whip out the cocaine, break it up, nice little, you have like that little tray, everybody's having a good time, you're at a party, fantastic. Then all of a sudden, you're 30 years old, you're not going to those parties anymore. The people that you were doing cocaine with are no longer doing cocaine. And all of a sudden, you're the only one doing cocaine.
That's right.
So to me, not good. Also, when you're in your 30s, you're probably thinking, you said you have a husband, you're probably thinking about having kids. You want drugs nowhere near your home with children because kids get into everything. We're literally gluing sockets in the wall because we're afraid that the kid's going to put their finger in it. What if they stumble into some drugs? I don't like it. Josh brought up fentanyl. They're trying to kill us, okay? It's very open and obvious. Everything that was fun is no longer fun. So, on the addiction piece, can't comment. Hopefully everything is okay. On the could you be a loser piece? 50-50.
Loser light. You're a diet loser right now.
Yeah.
But you might be full sugar loser. You might be a loser, full loser.
Regardless, I wish you well. And you and your husband sound like a great time. So
no, I would like to go out with you guys. And then I would like to have the talk with my wife on the way home going, can you believe so-and-so and her husband? They're all hopped up on the devil's dandruff, grinding their teeth and telling me about a timeshare they want to do together.
Yeah. And that they're trying to get me to pay for.
And by the way, no one is hiding it well into their 30s and 40s because your face, your skin, it all starts to show it. And you just become those people. And I don't mean to judge, but as the great Alex Edelman says in his wonderful one-man show, Just for Us, what else is there but judgment? That's all we do. That's how we know whether or not to go into a situation, to trust someone. We're constantly judging. And that's what people are going to do. And you know what? Every case is different. Winston Churchill famously drank a fifth of whiskey every day and won World War II. You ain't Winston Churchill, dear. You're not him. He also took baths. That big guy in a bathtub, weird. The water, dark.
You at least know where the whiskey came from. The alcohol is a little bit less concerning to me personally than the drug use when it's very, very public that they're trying to kill us with these drugs. So that's all.
Word up. Should we do, let's see, we could do one more speak pipe and then get into what are you nuts?
Love it.
Okay, this next speak pipe is from, it's another goodie from Anonymous.
Hey, good guys. Love y'all so much. I've been dating this pajama of a man for about a year and a half now, but we've known each other for almost 6. I do love this man. I have not told him that I love him. He has not told me that he loves me, and I'm not against the girl saying it first, but I just feel like I really want him to say it first. And I know that he loves me. I think he knows that I love him. The words just haven't been said. So any advice?
Wow.
Did she say that they've been together for 6 years?
They've known each other 6 years. They've been dating over a year.
Oh my God. It was like 6 years and you don't say I love you.
But even to my friend of 6 years, I would say I love you. We say I love you.
Of course, but we're loving guys. I want to tell the people that I love them. I think it should be very natural. Like it should happen. He should say it. If he loves you, he should say it. And I don't think that it's weird for a girl to do anything first. This idea of like the guy needs to do something first speaks to a very specific kind of guy, and maybe you're just not with that kind of guy. So I'm all for, if you love him, you should say, I love you. Because then he'll say, I love you as well. And if he doesn't, then you'll know something that you should have known anyways. Don't go wasting your youth.
What do you think is the timetable for when to say I love you, Marshall?
Ooh. I don't think there's a timetable.
Very diplomatic of you, Marsh. I'm thinking
I
over
think there's
appetizers.
There's definitely a timetable. Marshall, that's crazy. You've been together for 10 years? Nothing?
No.
Oh, I thought he was kind of more asking, like, what's, like, the expected minimum? But
yeah, within reason, like in a new relationship. Not you've been together 10 years.
I think you got to be together a couple months. A month or two to know. I've never been in love, so I guess I'm not one to say.
Well, I think we know the name of the episode. Marshall's never been in love. Wow. How are you dropping that at minute 45, Marsh?
Sorry.
Yeah.
We can put a pin in that.
We got to get you in love. All I got to say is a man in love knows when they're in love.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've heard. And so I know that because I know I haven't felt it.
What do you guys think of this? I heard this brought up to me, and granted, it's very different, but my buddy, the great Chrissy Chaos, Chris DiStefano, said, it's for me to love my kids whether or not they love me back. I will love them forever because they're my kids, they're my children, and like, I brought them into this world. They are this gift. And if my kid is mad at me one day, if he wants nothing to do with me, it doesn't matter because it's my job to love him. It's not his job to love me back. I think the fear with saying I love you is the idea of something unrequited. But if you feel it, what a beautiful thing to feel that towards someone. And worst case, if that person doesn't feel it back, and again, I'm saying it within reason, you're not saying it on date number 2, but you've been together a couple months, you're feeling like a nice feeling. I almost think like you just say it because you feel it, and it's nice to feel that, and you can't really worry about the result. Is that nuts?
You brought up no, it's not nuts, but you brought up an example of children, right? Like they're your blood. You have to love them. That is a fact, right? This person that you met is not blood. This person is a complete stranger that you've gotten to know and hopefully you really love because you're spending an incredible amount of time with them. If you don't love them, you should find somebody to spend an incredible amount of time with that you do love. So I do think that if you're up to a year really dating this person and you haven't expressed, you don't have to say, love you, love you, love you, love you. It doesn't have to be so dramatic, but like if you don't have a conversation of confirming the fact that you are loved or love, I don't know. I think that's a red flag to me.
I agree, but what I'm saying is like in the first couple months, like when you start to feel that and you really want to say it, but maybe you don't want to be the first to say it or you're worried it'll be unrequited. I think it's one of those where you go, let me just say it at 6 months, at 9 months. Because it's like you say it once, a person doesn't say it back. You say it again a week or two later, like, oh my gosh, well, what do you want to watch? I want to watch Botched. I'm a Dubrow guy. Me too. Love you. And they don't say it back. And you go, this person is fucked up. And great, you're not going to waste your time.
Yeah, I agree. Say it. Say it if you mean it. So, lady, you should say it. And I'm sure he will say it back because you said he loves you.
Or have him call our podcast. We'll bring him on live and we'll say, we just want to let you know that Donna loves you. And now, with the pressure of tens of thousands listening, how do you feel? That's a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. We can arrange that. Certainly.
Yeah. I love you by gunpoint.
Yeah.
You got a what are you nuts?
I do. And this one was particularly nuts. Okay. I am at a hotel last week in the gym. That's not what's nuts. Actually, this is kind of a two-part what are you nuts. I've turned into a person that loves working out on vacation, which I think is just nuts about myself, because if I could look back, I would have thought, oh my God, that person is psychotic. Like, what is wrong with them? But I was in the gym and I looked to my left, and you know how some gyms, Josh, have scales, right?
Sure.
I would never weigh myself in the gym, ever. I need to be completely naked, not a sip of water in me in the morning. That's the way that I'm going to weigh myself.
Full bowel movement and a prayer.
That's the way I'm going to weigh myself.
That's right.
That's the only real way to weigh yourself. I watched a girl weigh herself in the gym, shoes on, clothes on, Josh, holding a bottle of water.
Wow.
A full bottle of water. What are you, nuts? What are you going to learn? What could you possibly learn about your weight in that moment?
Wow.
Shoes, socks, pants, shirt, water bottle. What's the point? What are you doing it for fun? What are you, nuts?
She's accounting for her dinner.
That's healthy, man. That means she doesn't have a thing like we do. She doesn't have a ceremony. She hasn't ritualized weighing herself. It ain't that important.
If she didn't have a thing, why'd she weigh herself, Josh?
Well, it's good to do sometimes.
No, it's not. Not if you're not going to get an actual read. She does have a thing. She's just brain dead.
Okay, well, there's that too. My what are you nuts is very simple, and it's compact car parking spaces and parking lots. Just make the spaces uniform. These compact spaces, they don't work for nobody. They fit no car. Okay. I don't have an SUV. I have a 4-door car. It's cute. It's a Tesla Model Y. I want to just slip into a compact space. Oh no, not for you. I'm hugging the lines. It's sick. Meanwhile, I'm having issues coming into the parking lot here. Dear Media, it's not paying for my parking. I got to take out a student loan to get out of this place. It's awful. But I love you all. Take care. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the pod. What are you nuts? That's it.
It's been a great episode. It's been a great episode of the podcast. As always, listen to us on Spotify. Listen to us on Apple. Make sure to watch Reba.
No, do not watch Reba. we
watch us on watch us on Josh's YouTube. You got to watch us to really see us in action. You got to see Josh's face when I mention Reba. He's so angry. He hates Reba. That's the title. We hate Reba.
No,
I love Reba.
We got to have Reba on. We want Reba. Reba can come on whenever they want.
Absolutely love Reba. Listen to the podcast. Watch the podcast. Share our clips with a friend. Watch us on Mondays and Thursdays. 2 days of episodes. Double the fun. And have a great day.
And watch us on YouTube, because you're going to miss act outs like this if you don't watch us on YouTube. You ready? Look at this. I just dislocated my finger for you. I'm in searing pain. This is gross. Please.
Folks, if you don't watch on YouTube, you're going to miss this. This is a picture. My nipple is completely out right now. I'm just saying, if you're watching it on audio, you're missing out.
Suddenly, I'm in the mood for pepperoni.